On Sunday, I love chasing quarterbacks. But today, this is more my style. Right down to Hanes socks. With socks that look this good, who wants to be running around in cleats? Partner, you either need bigger feet or more Hanes socks to fill those shoes.
What you like, hey, nothing else feels so right.
Bounty means never having to say,
I'm sorry. So sorry.
Bounty's the quicker picker-upper. Bounty means never having to say you're sorry. Taxi! Taxi!
Get a little closer. Don't be shy.
Want to share?
Only Arid has the sustained action formula. Hour after hour, it fights wetness and odor.
Get a little closer.
Sustained action Arid keeps on working when you need it most.
I'm thirsty. You want orange juice?
No, thanks. I'll just have a sip of yours.
You're sure? I want a whole glass for myself.
No, I'll just have a sip.
Orange juice. It's got the vitamins, minerals, and taste that make you feel so good.
Just a sip, huh?
100% pure Florida quality orange juice. It makes you feel so good.
I'm sorry, did I drink all your orange juice?
No. You drank yours.
You may have noticed that lately, lots of people are having considerable trouble walking and chewing gum at the same time. Perhaps it's because of the great new taste of Trident, peppier original. Fruitier fruit. Bubblier bubble. New Trident, still good for your teeth. And now it tastes better than ever.
Hi, I'm Rick Dees, and tonight, beam us into your late night. Captain Kirk's going to be here. It's William Shatner. Rude the sounds of was, not was. Slash, whatever you're doing. Really, no crock. It's hot tonight. Into the night. Later tonight.
Later tonight on Nightline with Ted Koppel, the George Steinbrenner story. It's been a day of growing suspense on the future of the New York Yankees owner. The latest on Nightline tonight.
This is Charles Gibson.
And Joan London.
Tomorrow, why are some communities banning the ice cream truck?
Also, Cher will be joining us and meet the hottest young soap stars on Good Morning America.
This is ABC.
Coming up next on Eyewitness News, get ready to pay the sin tax. It's just 2 days away.
And more riveting testimony as Alice Lundgren takes the stand in the cult killings trial.
Next at 11.
For the past 6 years combined, Pontiac has outsold every brand of import. You're looking at the reasons why. Spirited performance, advanced technology, and pure driving excitement. The race to excitement continues with big cash back, like up to $2,000 on Grand Prix, and that makes the real winner you.
Chi-Chi's Ultimate Combo shows how even we get carried away. It's 8 great Chi-Chi's favorites. Cheese nachos, a burro, enchilada, chili con queso, taco, beans, rice, plus Mexican fried ice cream. All at a price even we don't believe. Chi-Chi's Ultimate Combo. Better hurry in before we have second thoughts.
Chi-Chi, a celebration of food.
One, two, three.
While contemplating the infinite fashion alternatives the timeless style of his buttonfly jeans now made possible, Twain completely forgot that he too was subject to the laws of gravity.
Dwayne.
Cleveland's live 24-hour news source continues. This is TV TV5 Eyewitness News with Ted Henry, Wilma Smith, Don Webster with the weather, Sports Director Nev Chandler, and the Eyewitness News team. Brought to you by Ohio Edison.
Good evening. Forgotten, but certainly not gone. A new twist on an old saying best sums up the Gateway sin tax.
If you think back, you're probably going to remember the controversy back in May over the plan to pay for the Gateway project with a tax on alcohol and cigarettes.
Well, guess what? The sin tax that Cuyahoga County voters approved back then goes into effect on Wednesday, August 1st. And that means, of course, it'll cost a little more to drink and smoke around here. Our David Christopher joins us live now from one downtown watering hole. And David, have the people who sell booze and cigarettes been really getting ready for Wednesday?
Well, Ted, many of the people that we spoke with tonight say they may never be ready for a tax like this. The management, for example, here at Becky says that at first they will not raise prices to offset the tax. However, other bar owners that we spoke with tonight say that you can expect to see about a 25-cent increase for a bottle of beer like this. Now, despite the difference, one thing is for certain. The majority of retailers we spoke with tonight are confused over this new tax.
Well, I don't really understand it, but there's not much we can do.
Tim Blair is one of many retailers across the county who just 2 days before the sin tax goes into effect doesn't understand exactly how to implement the tax. A tax that will add about 2 cents to a glass of beer, 14 cents to a six-pack, and about 4.5 cents to a pack of cigarettes.
Somebody didn't give it a lot of thought. They had no idea or didn't research the situation before they did it.
As of this Wednesday, retailers must conduct an inventory of their stock of cigarettes and alcoholic beverages, and then pay a county excise tax on the product. But then 30 days later, any remaining inventory must be traded in for products with this type of a county state tax. Confusing?
Confused isn't even the word. Everybody's running around in a circle on this thing, including us. And we've been in the business 75, 77 years.
Tonight, the distributors are working around the clock to make sure new products going out have the proper tax stamp. But the cost for that manpower they expect will be added to the actual sin tax. But merchants like Luis Torres say they believe that won't hurt their sales.
Everybody's going to buy cigarettes and they're going to buy beer no matter what. No matter what the price is, they're going to pay for it.
Now, several other merchants that we spoke with tonight said that they will be forced to increase the cost of a pack of cigarettes by anywhere from 10 to 15 cents a pack, some as high as 25 cents, just to offset this tax. And distributors are afraid that that might open the market up to bootleggers, that again would force many people right out of business.
A wide variety of confused views. Okay, David, thank you. And as we said, of course, the sin tax will certainly help pay for the Gateway Sports Complex project. Tomorrow on Live on 5, Alan DiPietro of our staff will show us some of the possible designs for the new baseball stadium.
The story of the sin tax really does not end here, with the savings and loan bailout expected to tax people many more billions of dollars. The already huge federal deficit is expected to keep growing. Now, one plan President Bush is thinking about to make ends meet is, and you guessed it, a federal sin tax. And listen to the numbers here. The administration thinks that such a tax could raise $7 billion a year by charging 73 cents more for a bottle of wine and 8 cents more for a can of beer. Alcohol makers have already begun running commercials to tell taxpayers to write to their congresspeople.
Americans already pay over $3 billion a year in beer taxes. So don't pay more for what you've already earned. Tell them to can the beer tax.
Harry Truman was the last president to enact an alcohol tax, and that was back in 1951.
Alice Lundgren got to tell her side of the story finally today, and it was as dramatic as anything yet heard in her trial for conspiracy in the Kirtland cult killings. Lundgren said over and over again how she lived in mortal fear of her husband, cult leader Jeffrey Lundgren. She also said he threatened to kill her several times, one time being the night she says she came home and discovered the Dennis Avery family had been murdered.
He took me by the arm and took me out on the front porch and shut the front door and pushed me up against the wall of the house. He pulled out the gun and he stuck it in my face. He said, "Don't give me any bullshit now, Alice. Do what I tell you to do." And I said, yes.
Alice Lundgren, described as the queen of the cult by former members who testified last week there, said she stayed with her husband after the murders only because she was also fearing for the lives of her children. The prosecution is now expected to rest its case tomorrow. And tempers flared at the Eugene Kennedy trial today.
The result, young Kennedy's father is being held in contempt of court. It was during this examination by prosecutor Tim McGinty that the elder Kennedy blew up on the stand, claiming not to know the whereabouts of a letter in which his son allegedly confesses to the murder of Dia Harris.
You're avoiding the question.
I'm not avoiding.
Here is the question
is, where is that letter?
Where is the letter we've been talking about?
I don't know. I said I don't know.
What did you do with it, sir?
What letter? I laid it at home there, and I don't know.
Is your home been the victim of a burglary the last week?
I don't know.
Well, after his testimony, the judge decided to hold Mr. Kennedy in contempt for failing to come up with a letter, and he was taken into custody by sheriff's deputies. The trial, now in its second week, continues tomorrow.
No new leads at all tonight, I'm afraid, in another brutal murder. Two teenagers found the body of 28-year-old Eugenia Queener in this stairwell at Central Junior High School this morning. The coroner says Queener died of severe head wounds, and police are still trying to figure out exactly what led up to this killing.
You know, we've shown you a lot of firearms taken in police raids over the years, but nothing like we're going to show you tonight. When police in Cambridge, Massachusetts raided this duplex over the weekend, they found guns everywhere. Look at what they came away with. Guns of every shape and size, including machine guns and military mortars and launchers. Police estimate that there are more than 800 firearms here. The owner, Henry Stram, does own a gun license, but police say no way is it legal to have all this firepower. Neighbors cannot believe it either.
I was really shocked. Really shocked. I never knew he had that much. You know, when you think of gun collections, it's a nice case. You know, a few guns in there. What they brought out of there is unbelievable.
Well, police are checking Stram for possible involvement in a recent weapons theft in nearby New Hampshire.
Boy, has he ever got problems. George Steinbrenner's days of controversy may be over.
Later on in sports, we're going to hear why he can no longer call the shots for the New York Yankees.
And when we come back tonight, we're going to have some important information about child restraining seats in our consumer report.
Always at your service, we got a job to do. Making life better and brighter for you. Working with companies from all around, bringing new opportunities to your hometown. We're Ohio Edison, your neighbors and friends. Ohio Edison, the people you can count on. Ohio Edison, count on us, count on us.
Nearly 100 years ago, an American heritage was born. And through the years, that same American heritage has evolved into an integral part of the American dream. 1990 Oldsmobile 88. Celebrate one great American heritage with yet another. Right now, get a $1,000 savings bond or $500 in cash. Add up to $1,250 in factory-to-dealer incentives for a total of $1,750 in savings on Olds 88. Oldsmobile quality, part of an American heritage. See your new Olds Connection dealer.
To be honest with you, I like to be able to pronounce everything I read in the labels. I like to think of myself as having a healthy, balanced diet. That means less salt, less fat, all that sort of thing.
Delicious, healthy choice frozen dinners. Our label clearly shows we're low in fat, sodium, and cholesterol to help you keep your heart healthy.
I would say it certainly passes my strictest tests.
Try Healthy Choice dinners and our delicious new entrees.
Is changing your features changing your race on the next Oprah Winfrey Show?
North Royalton police are truly baffled tonight over whether or not they have found the remains of a human hand. It was late this afternoon that they received a call from a Valley Parkway resident who said his dog came home with what looks like the skeletal remains of a human hand. Now, they say the appendage might also have belonged to a large animal. So far, a search of the area has failed to turn up a human body. Word on the genetic makeup of the suspected hand should come from the coroner's office soon.
It's the law here in the state of Ohio that small children riding in cars have to be put in special restraining seats. And this accident from last night is a very good example of why that is. When this car hit a